So I got a message yesterday from one of my subscribers, and by the way, you guys can message me whenever you like. All my social media is in the description box. I have a Facebook page, Happywax TV. You guys can sign up for that. Obviously, it's free. Or you can message me once you go on Happywax TV. It's whatever. I got Instagram, all that sort of stuff. I don't use Twitter too much, even though I include it in my description, but I barely use Twitter. So if you do want to get a hold of me, just contact me on Facebook. That's usually how I talk to people. But anyways, got a message from one of my subs yesterday asking me why I haven't put a video out in a while. It dawned on me. I'm like, holy fuck, we're already going into February and I didn't put any videos out for January. So my apologies. Between, I guess, yesterday and Christmas, I just got busy, and oddly enough in Canada, up until about a week and a half ago, it's been plus temperature, so I've still been out golfing. So I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of me saying that, but it is what it is. So anyways, okay, I watched a lot of movies in January, and I would say the majority of them were garbage, okay? But I've picked 6 movies. Some of them were good. Some of them weren't so good, but I'll let you know. You've probably seen most of them anyways. But it does look good on the horizon. My next video I'm going to be doing after this one, obviously it's the next one, is going to mostly be revolved around creature features. The next couple of weeks, there are some pretty killer creature feature movies coming out, or at least judging by the trailers anyways. So I'm excited for that, because I haven't done a full creature feature video in a while. So anyways, okay, let's get to it. Okay, so let's get into this. I've picked 6 movies. Again, I've said this in other videos. Some of these movies I haven't watched in almost a month, so I don't remember like all the key points about them. So I'm just going to basically read the synopsis and then kind of gloss over my thoughts, let you know what I think and whether or not you should give it a watch or not. So, I mean, all these movies you should watch, whether I love them or hate them. I'm just going to give you my opinion, but if I can steer you in the right direction, because I know these, movies cost money, and, you don't want to be wasting your hard-earned cash on shit movies. So, but most of these are fairly decent. So anyways, okay, the first movie is one I just watched last night, called Infinity Pool. Now, I was kind of on the fence with this. I was going to go see it regardless. I just didn't know if I was going to like it or not. I am a fan of Brandon Cronenberg. I didn't really care overly for his first 2 movies, but I feel that with each movie he makes, he's getting better and better. So I'm excited to see, where he's going to be in another like 5 to 10 years. Obviously, he's got a legend for a father, so I'm sure he's helping out, but just every movie seems to be getting better and better. And in this movie, Infinity Pool, I left the theater and I thought about it all night, and even when I got up in the morning. I really did enjoy this flick, mostly because it's got Mia Goth in it. She is fantastic. Honestly, I will watch anything that she's in. X was fantastic with both characters she played in that movie, and Pearl, I thought she just killed it. She is, not only is Brandon Cronenberg getting better and better, but every role that Mia Goth has been in, it just seems to get better and better as well. So I'm excited where both these people are going to be. And then Alexander Skarsgård is in this movie too. So phenomenal acting. Acting isn't the issue with this movie. The writing, I felt was, again, this is kind of like a horror movie, sci-fi horror, if you want to look at it like that. And there's a lot of things that we're supposed to buy in with not much background on it. So here, let me read the synopsis quick. James and Em Foster are enjoying an all-inclusive beach vacation in the fictional island of La Tolca when a fatal accident exposes the resort's perverse subculture of hedonistic tourism, reckless violence, and surreal horrors. Okay, well, basically, James and Em are there. James is like a struggling writer. He's only got 1 book out, and he's trying to find, the oomph to put a second book out. So he thinks by going to this resort, you know, it might get the juices flowing or whatever. His relationship with M is on the rocks anyways. They're a couple kind of struggling to stay together because honestly, Alexander Skarsgård, or James, is like, he's a loser. Yes, he really is. I mean, he's just awkward, and he's just not motivated. And he's a loser. He has no money, you know what I mean? Like, he seems lazy. And that's the way I saw him, how he was portrayed. Now, M is the money in this relationship. They state that early on. You know, she's come from money, and she's kind of financing everything, you know, hoping James gets his shit together and gets back on track and makes another book. Anyways, at this resort, they meet Gabby, who is played by Mia Goth. Her and her husband almost instantly become friends with James and M. You can tell right away that Gabby has something for James, and that's shown that, you know, early on when they end up they rent a car, leave the resort, which they're not supposed to do. They're at the beach, they're drinking. James gets up to go have a piss, and then while he's doing that, Gabby, Mia Goth, comes in behind and kind of finishes him off, if you know what I mean. Now, the one thing I want to say, this movie is rated R. It was originally, when it played at Sundance, they showed the uncut version, and it got an NC-17 rating. So there is quite a bit of movie that has been snipped from this, so they could get it down to an R rating. Apparently, Alexander Skarsgård actually ejaculated, and they show it when Mia Goth kind of jerks him off there. And then there's like orgy scenes that are cut out and stuff like that, and there's some other scenes. So see it in the theater, but when the director's cut comes out, like, I guess, you know, if you want to see the movie in its entirety, how it was meant to be seen, then that would be the version that you want to see. But anyways, long story short, they're at the beach. You know, Gabby kind of makes herself known that she has something for James. And then when they're driving back, they've all been drinking. And then James hits one of the people that lives there and kills them. And they decide not to call the police on Gabby's request. They go back to the hotel. And then the next day they get arrested. And this is where we find out that this village, or this resort, or not the resort, but the Tolka, La Tolka, they have figured out how to clone people. Okay, and this is where you're supposed to buy into this, like, with little to no background on it. So as a viewer, you instantly either buy into it or you don't. But either way, what they do is, if you have enough money, they can clone you, because one of the rituals of this island is, if you kill someone or rape someone, or there's a whole bunch of stuff they list off, then a person from that family that was affected gets to kill you. Okay, but they will clone you, and then the family member kills the clone instead. But you have to have the money to pay for the cloning. And that's what this movie is about this group of people that are on this island that learn that they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want to whoever they want and not have any consequence, because they'll just pay, when they get arrested, they'll just pay the police to be cloned, and then they can sit there and watch their clone get killed instead of themselves. Now, if I say anything beyond that, I'll ruin the movie for you, because there are some twists and turns here. But again, listen, to give this movie a rating, I would probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10. I did enjoy this movie. Again, there's lots of plot holes and stuff you're just supposed to accept, you know what I mean, that kind of keep this movie going. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I went on too long about this. I'm going to keep these short. But again, I love Mia Goth. She is absolutely fantastic, and she does kill it in this movie. I recommend it. 6.5 out of 10 for me. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. Okay, so another movie. Now, I saw this movie over a month ago, so I forget a lot of the key points, but it's Something in the Dirt. Okay, and listen, I absolutely love Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. Anything these guys write or direct or involved with, I will watch. These, like, honestly, these are my two favorite directors. They are, and they always work together. They star in this movie together, and it's almost simply just like a one-shot location that takes place in this apartment building. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I know it's been a month since I've seen it, but watch this movie. These guys can do no wrong. Like, some people, say they get a little too talky, but that's what makes their movies so great, is the stuff that they bring to each scene, like the conversations they have and how well they gel together. It's just phenomenal. I mean, the synopsis doesn't really say anything. I'll read it. Maverick filmmaking duo Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead offer up a twisted reflection of our paranoid times in this inventive mix of buddy comedy and sci-fi thriller. Okay, well, basically, basically the movie revolves around John Daniels and Levi. Okay, obviously played by Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson. John has this entity or this presence that enters his apartment building every once in a while. And what they want to do is they want to film it so that they can, both these guys are kind of down on their luck and struggling for money and stuff, okay? But when this entity, they don't know if it's a ghost or an alien trying to contact them, but it presents itself in their apartment, and they want to film it and then sell it as a documentary so they can get rich and famous. That's the gist of this movie, okay? But where this movie goes and how they use Los Angeles and the symbolism of how communities and housing complexes and other structures around the city are built, and there's how they symbolize stuff from above and how they're made, and it's incredible how they incorporate all that into this movie, and it works, and I absolutely loved it. Again, it's been over a month since I've seen this movie, and I've probably watched like 40 movies since I watched this, so I forget a lot of the key points, but I know this. I absolutely love this film, okay? I absolutely did, just like I've loved all their other films. Like, some of them are head scratchers and you're going to be thinking about them weeks after to try and make sense of it all, and this movie is kind of like that. But trust me, at the end of it, you're going to be happy you watched it. So I highly recommend this movie. I would give this a really strong 7.5, maybe even an 8. But again, I'm biased towards these guys just because I like them so much. But anyways, Something in the Dirt is an absolute must-see for everyone. Okay, another movie, Megan. This is getting good reviews, and it's gotten good reviews, and I'm sure most of you watching me have seen this movie because it's been out for a while. I honestly, okay, let me just be upfront here. I am not a huge fan of the Chucky movies. Okay, I don't enjoy them. I kind of like the first one, but after that, I felt they just got kind of silly and stupid, and I don't know, I just didn't care for them. And when I went into this movie, the first thing I couldn't get it out of my head, is just a female Chucky movie. And it is and it isn't, okay? Like, obviously Megan's an actual robot that goes haywire or starts to think on her own, which is probably going to happen down the road anyways, kind of like the Terminator deal, you know what I mean? And then she just does anything to protect, this woman's daughter that built her, and that's what it is, and it's how they kind of have to destroy Megan at the end, whatever. I don't want to give spoilers or anything. Again, you've probably already seen it, but I mean, even if you watch a trailer, you can get the gist of what's going to happen in the movie. But I don't know, man, like there was a lot of good upper echelon reviewers saying that this movie was fucking brilliant, and I went in to see it and I was like, what is all the hype about? Like, it's just your standard fucking robot movie. I mean, yeah, the special effects were cool for Megan, the way they made her look and stuff, but I don't know. I just, the people that surround this movie, like some of the co-stars that helped build her, like, it was just, I don't know, the way they were presented was silly, and how we're supposed to accept the fact that Gemma, played by Allison Williams, built this more or less on her own with the help of a couple of her work friends, and they were able to push this Megan unit through to get built. Like, it's just, I don't know. But again, that falls back to Infinity Pool. Like, within a 5-minute conversation, we're supposed to accept the fact that, you know, this small little island created a fucking cloning device. So, I don't know. There was a lot of things I was just shaking my head on. And it was just, like, I don't know. I just couldn't get over the fact that this is never going to fucking happen. Like, the stuff that she's doing, they're never going to fucking allow. Like, I don't get it. And I didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. That's, I don't know. To give it a rating, I'd probably give it a 5. Most of you have seen this. And again, I'm probably being a little bit one-sided here because I don't like the Chucky movies. And that's all I could think about when I watched this film. Is it a bad movie? No. But it didn't wow me. And when I left the theater, I was like, threw my popcorn in the garbage, and I was like, well, that's pretty much how I feel about this movie. A one-time watch, and I'm never going to see that bag of popcorn again. So, whatever. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Okay, another movie that was a total letdown to me was Mad Heidi. All right, I was excited to see this movie, and you know, I watched the trailer a while ago, and I did appreciate how it was filmed and how it came to be, because it was pretty much like a crowdfunding movie. You know what I mean? They gathered, I think, I don't know if they gathered all the budget, but a large chunk of it came from people donating to this movie. And visually, it's great. Okay? The acting, not so great. But this is supposed to be, well, they call it Swissploitation. Okay, I don't really know what the fuck that means. But here, let me read the synopsis. Swiss mountain girl Heidi is abducted by brutal government troops and must defend herself and fight a war against a cheese-fueled machinery of hate. Okay, well, listen, I'm not gonna rip this movie apart. I was gonna do a video on it just by itself and rant a little bit about it. But this is like, okay, the very opening scene, it has this grindhouse kind of a, you know, scratchy filmed, awesome look to it. And then we immediately go into the actual movie, and it is the cleanest movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, if they're going after this exploitation / grindhousey feel, it's not there. Like, it's not gross and grimy and even over the top. Like, I mean, I almost hate saying this, but an episode of the fucking pile of shit Walking Dead has more gore and grime in some of their episodes than this movie has. You know what I mean? And this is what they're kind of promoting. So, like, I don't understand why they went easy on it. Like, yeah, there's some head explosions and a little bit of stabbing and stuff, but for the most part, it's just a clean, safe-feeling movie, and I don't understand why, because, you know, when I saw this movie, I don't know if it's been picked up now, but when I watched this movie, I had to go onto their website and pay for it. So, why they're trying to get this safe rating, you know what I mean? That should have been fucking over the top. Like, there's hardly even any nudity in it, which is fine. But I'm just saying, like, when you promote this movie as this grindhousey, exploitation-ish type film, and then we're seeing this, it's safe and clean. And I was like, what the fuck? Am I watching the PG version of this movie? Like, there has to be another unrated cut somewhere but I was watching it right off their website. So I don't know. If you guys have seen this flick, let me know what you think about it. I don't know. The story was okay. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, I already read it in the synopsis. That's pretty much it. The acting is okay. I guess it's not great. But I know it's low budget. I get it. But listen, I've seen so many low budget films that just go over the top. And I've said this 100 times. If you have a low budget movie of this style, you need to be over the top. You need to be extra gory, extra grimy, you know, make us feel uncomfortable. And it's just not in this movie. It was a letdown, man. It really was. To give it a rating, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 out of 10. So I don't know. If you've seen this movie, let me know what you thought of it. I just felt it to be safe and clean and fucking disappointing. Okay, so from a very disappointing movie comes this movie, which I wasn't even going to originally watch this, and then I thought, no, you know what? I'll just get through it, and then I can include it in maybe some of the movies that you shouldn't really watch, you know what I mean, or whatever. But goddamn, Candyland blew me away. I absolutely loved this film. Everyone who is involved in Mad Heidi should watch this movie, Candyland. Now, the two aren't similar in any way as far as plot and story and all that stuff, but I mean, Mad Heidi was supposed to be this low budget, crowdfunded movie, okay? Candyland is ultra low budget. I don't know how much crowdfunding they got, but goddamn, like, as clean, as safe, and non-grimy as Mad Heidi was, Candyland is the exact opposite. It's uncomfortable to watch a lot of the scenes. It's fucking grimy. It's bloody. It's real, and it's fucking amazing. I mean, John Swab, director, producer, bravo. I absolutely loved your movie. Let me read the synopsis. A seemingly naive and devout young woman finds her way into the underground world of truck stop sex workers, aka lot lizards. Okay. You know, if you go on IMDb, okay, which is a, I don't know, it just, that website drives me nuts because there's so much false bullshit there. But there's a lot of people that don't like this movie. And if you read the reviews on it, the reason they don't like it, or at least what I'm gathering from what they're saying, is because it makes them feel so uncomfortable, and this movie's so fucking gross and grimy because it's saturated with a lot of stuff that we don't want to see. You know what I mean? Or we're uncomfortable with when we're watching it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to give too much of anything away from this movie because it'll ruin it for you. Because I didn't know anything about this flick other than what I watched in the trailer, which even the trailer does a great job of not giving too much away. I mean, the opening scene sets the tone for this whole movie. The first like 5 to 10 minutes, like, we get everything in this. You know what I mean? There's like a sex scene to open it with. It's you know, and it doesn't hold back from showing stuff. There's, you know, when I first saw him, I thought he was like a priest or a reverend shows up in this van, you know, and he's met with like full frontal, almost like woman's nudity, like not just, well, he doesn't show her breast, but shows the vagina. Do you know what I mean? And then there's a scene in this movie where there's like a little kid and the hookers are showing him their breasts. Like, this movie, it doesn't hold back on anything, and it just makes it more realistic and more uncomfortable feeling. And it's just, I thought it was fucking great. A lot of movies play it safe. This movie didn't, and it shows, and it just heightened it. But basically, I mean, we're introduced in the first act to Sadie, Riley, and Levi. Levi's the male character in this. He's the male prostitute. And then William Baldwin is in this. He is Rex. He's the sheriff, okay? And I mean, Rex is in on this, okay, because he has feelings for Levi, okay? Even though he's married and, you know, he's living this second life, you know, he shows up to the truck stop and him and Levi do their thing and blah, blah, blah. But Remy, who is part of this religious group that comes in the opening scene in this van, she gets kicked out of the group. And again, I don't want to say too much because I'll spoil it for you, because there's twists and turns in this that you have to watch. Anyways, but Remy gives the impression she's kicked out of this religious group, and then she has nowhere to go, so she ends up becoming friends with Sadie and Riley, these prostitutes, and then taking on that lifestyle. Okay, and beyond that, I don't want to say anything other than you're going to fucking love this movie. You really are. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Again, if I say too much, I will ruin it for you. Just go in blind or other than what I just told you, which was the basic synopsis, and then go into it and then let me know what you think of this flick. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited to hear what you guys think of this movie. Out of all the other movies, this is the one I'm most excited for you guys to watch, is Candyland. In fact, I should have probably talked about it first. So if you've stuck around, hopefully, and you're on the fence with Candyland, don't be. I would give this movie a really strong 8 out of 10. Fucking loved it. I thought I was going to go into this and not hate it, but just be like, whatever, one-time use, like the popcorn I threw in the garbage when I went and saw Megan. But no, man, this movie is banging. Okay, another movie finally I watched probably over a month ago, but it was fucking good, man. Like, it really was. It wasn't a great movie, but considering it's on Tubi and it's for free and it's one of their original movies, was called Bed Rest. I just put it on because, I don't know, I just woke up one morning and I always scan through Tubi to see what's on there because they're always throwing movies on there. And Tubi is banging. It doesn't cost a cent to watch any of those movies on there. And their original movies that they're putting out lately are fantastic. And this one, Bed Rest, I thought was great. It's from the producer of Scream, but a pregnant woman on a bed rest begins to wonder if her house is haunted or it's all in her head. Okay, well, again, I don't want to really give too much away from this movie, but that's pretty much it. I mean, this woman and her husband move into this mansion-y style house, which is going through construction, okay? And then while she's pregnant, and we find out that she's already lost one child, okay? So she falls. I think she trips over a piece of the construction, whatever. But anyways, the doctor wants her on bed rest until she gives birth. So she's kind of stuck in this bed. But then she has visions, or at least she thinks she does, of her son, her son that, I guess, died during childbirth. But okay, so I thought this movie was going to turn into one of these where shit only happens to this woman and no one else can see it. And it kind of goes that route to start. And I kind of got a little bit annoyed in the second act with it because I don't like those style of movies where only one person can see the entity or the creature or whatever it is for the entirety of the movie. And it's, no one believes her. And the second act kind of goes that route. And I was like, oh, fuck. But the third act is banging, okay? And I'll tell you something, I don't want to give spoilers, and it's just eating at me, but because I want to talk about the ending of this movie, because it needs to happen more, okay? In fact, no, I'm not going to do it. Anyways, if you guys want to ask me about it in the comments section or DM me, I'll let you know. But I fucking loved the end of this movie and what happens, okay? Because, God, it's just eating at me not to fucking talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But anyways, listen, Bed Rest. First of all, it's free. Okay, so it's not costing anything to watch it. And to give this movie a rating, I'd probably give it like a really strong 6.5, maybe even a 7, just because it was way better than I thought it was going to be. Tubi is fucking banging, all right? Goddamn, man, you don't even need Netflix or Prime. Just go to Tubi. Everything good is on there. There's a lot of shit on there too, but most of the stuff they have on there is fucking good. A lot of hard to find movies, cult classics, all sorts of stuff. So anyways, check Bed Rest out. If you've seen it already, let me know what you think. And if you haven't, again, after you watch Candyland, go to Tubi, watch Bed Rest. It's a fucking good movie. And then let me know what you thought of the ending. And I thought it was great because you don't see that a lot in movies and what happens there. So anyways, okay, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. I went on way too long. Anyways, I got more videos coming. I know I say that all the time, but listen, the next couple of weeks, there are a ton of creature features getting released, and I've already got most of them sent to me. So yeah, hopefully after I put this out, I'll have another video up of all these creature feature style movies within another week. So I'm excited because the horizon is fucking banging. It really is. It looks like there's going to be a shit ton of good movies come out this year finally. Yeah, so I'm excited to talk about them with you. So anyways, if you've seen any of these movies or if you've seen them all, let me know down below what you thought of them, guys. But check out fucking Candyland, man. It is such a good movie. Low budget gold. Anyways, I'm going on. I'm done. Until next time, guys. Take care.